Dark Souls, a footnote in how to make a great game with a great combat system, and the soundtracks of these games are what drives them. The example that we're going to be looking at today brings the present and past into a convergent point of cycles, the abyss shuddering near. The two tracks of Night Artorias and the Abyss Watchers. Knight Artorias, one of the four knights of Gwyn and wearer of the Wolf Ring, is given the task of halting the abyss in Ulyssil, as well as saving the Princess Dusk. Although Artorias was never quite successful in his task of defeating the abyss and the primordial man that struck him down, his legacy lives on after his death. In Farron Keep, there resides an undead legion of Abyss Watchers dedicated to destroying the abyss and continuing his legacy. The two are clearly linked, and lore isn't the only thing that links the two. The soundtracks of the two are intertwined within the convoluted timelines of Lordran and Lothric. Whereas both tracks start with a bell, this bell is deeper and lower in pitch, possibly mirroring the depths of the abyss. The majority of this track is based around a wide range of male vocals. Throughout the intro section of the track, a bass pedal note can be heard that is played by a variety of strings. When the next section starts, there is just strings with the bells in the background, with cellos and possibly violas accompanying the violins. Within this, the violins are playing long legato notes, with the accompaniment also playing legato but with much shorter notes. As the piece progresses, more strings come in, with the addition of basses being the most prominent. Along with the addition of basses, the deep tenor and possibly baritone vocals sing a similar melody to the basses. Throughout this section of the piece, there are subtle nuances and dissonance which help add tension and mirror the twisted nature of the abyss that slowly consumes Artorias. In the background, whispers can be heard. Are these the cries of the fallen, or are they the enticing whispers of humanity beckoning those unlucky enough to come close to the true darkness of the abyss? Continuing onwards, the piece gradually adds to the texture by adding various percussion. The bass is then cut for a bar or two, just leaving the rest of the strings on their own. The strings and other instruments then start to pick up, which continues to build the intensity and tension within the track. Strangely, the track changes mode, just for a short period of time, where it starts to sound major rather than the minor tonality of the rest of the track. Could this be the final glimpses of Artorias within the husk that his body has become? Well, it was short-lived, as the abyss takes full control once again. As the track progresses, more strings are re-added, and then now a perfect fourth is not exactly a dissonant interval. However, nor is it a particularly consonant interval. With the right context and the right harmony, a fourth can mimic the same chaos felt when hearing the devilish tritone. This festering darkness has come to a front, and whatever left of Artorias is forever lost. The tone this time is much darker and much more sinister. The choral melody melts into the string melody as the track progresses, weaving between each other. The tension building again, but not in the same way as before. The melodies are the same, and yet something feels off.
You, is that not the soul of the man who fell on this spot? He was a dear friend. I wish to pay proper respect with that soul. Would you be willing to part with it?
Even though Artorias is gone, his legacy lives on, and although the legend of Artorias is built upon lies, his courage, skill, and bravery still live on. Many years after Artorias would fall, a new generation would take his place. Past the seemingly endless swamps of Farron, an entrance stands to the long-fallen remnants of the kingdom of Karthus. Overruled by greed, their foolish king would fall to true darkness, and those standing above the ruins of his crumbling kingdom are the Abyss Watchers. Once again, like Artorias, a bell rings out in the distance, but this time the vocal melody is taken by one soloist. There's much more of a focus on the highest strings, with violins helping to build the intensity of the track. On the other hand, the lowest strings work with the vocals to build dissonance and tension as the track progresses. Unlike Artorias, there's something different about this track. Polyphony is found throughout. Now, there is not just one, but a whole legion of those tasked with vanquishing the Abyss. This legion is solidified with the introduction of brass, which shows power and represents the true force that the Undead Legion are, or whatever's left. You're not only fighting the Legion here, they're fighting themselves. Slowly consumed by the very thing they seek to destroy, they are eternally locked in an endless, victorless battle. The dissonance throughout the piece not only represents the Abyss that seeks to destroy the Legion, but also represents the unending infighting that ravages the Watchers. But now and then, as one Watcher falls, the one remaining focuses on you. Their texture becomes more homophonic and sparse as their blade draws nearer. Just you and them locked in the jewel of fate. But not for long. As long as one stands, another can rise, and the track becomes chaotic once more. But to link the first flame, they must fall. But they won't disappear without a fight. The Abyss Watchers, in order to follow in the footsteps of Artorias, partook in wolf's blood, bolstering their physical capabilities, transforming them into an unstoppable pack of wolves. In doing so, their souls became one, and when you bring them to the brink, there is but one that absorbs what could be described as the collective soul from the rest of the Legion. All the while, the dissonance is reduced and the melody becomes more focused. But all those at the top are fated to fall.
The Undead Legion of Farron is a caravan of undead, sworn by wolf's blood to contain the Abyss. The Legion will bury a kingdom at the first sign of exposure. Joyous bunch, really. I pity the sorry souls. Gives me conniptions.
I got sick and couldn't do the outro voiceover, so here is Robot Lady. Well, I did not expect my last video to do as well as it did, and at the time of recording it is currently on 30,000 views. I cannot thank you all enough for taking time to watch my stupid videos. This video has been a long time in the making and maybe a tad bit more dramatic than usual. I know this may not have as much music analysis as my last upload. At the moment I'm seeing what I can fit into a 10-minute space, but if any of you would be happy for a couple more longer uploads, I'd be more than happy to make some. Anyway, I swear the Elden Ring video is in the works, and although it may not be their next upload, it will definitely be the one after that.